As The Handmaid's Tale enters its second season, we're entering new territory because we're going entirely outside Margaret Atwood's 1985 novel. But the author has insisted on one rule for the show, which is that everything that happens has to have a real-life precedent.
Our Father, who art in heaven. Seriously?
The Handmaid's Tale is set in this dystopian future where women have no rights. Part of what's so unsettling about this show is that we see this gradual change sort of creeping up on them in these flashbacks. It takes this sort of slightly uncomfortable present-day situation that's relatable to all of us and snowballs it to its logical extreme.
And I need you to sign the form for my refill.
So what starts out as a signature for birth control turns into forced breeding and torture and mutilation. And that's actually not too far off from what's happening today. Some politicians in Congress and in the administration believe that women should have to have bosses' permission in order to have birth control covered under their health insurance. The entire premise of Gilead is that the fertile women are rounded up and forced to be pregnant and have babies for these rich couples. These are clearly heightened examples, but they point to a certain attitude of some men in the modern world who do view women as incubators. A congressman from Arizona, Trent Franks, asked one of his staffers to have a baby for him and his wife, suggesting that he would impregnate her by natural means. Of course, Trent Franks is also an outspoken anti-abortion advocate in Congress. We've also got this mock execution scene where all the handmaids are lined up in Fenway Park and nooses are slipped around their necks.
Oh, here's Anne.
And this seems like a really unimaginable, crazy scenario until you realize that The Atlantic just hired and then quickly fired a conservative writer who has actually said on Twitter and in podcasts that he thinks women should be hanged for having abortions. And actually a lot of people have come to his defense.
You know what this is? Do you know what happened here? The slaughterhouse.
June is at the old Boston Globe headquarters, and there's blood all over the walls, and it turns out that this is a place where journalists have been executed. Of course, journalists are not being executed right now, but there is an attack on the free press, as Donald Trump kind of undermines public trust in the press.
You have quite an adventure ahead of you.
The Handmaid's Tale has inadvertently become an empowering tool. Women have been showing up in Handmaid's Tale costumes across the country where legislators are trying to roll back birth control rights and roll back abortion rights. The show kind of provides evidence to support women's fears. It puts a face to the fear of what would happen if everyone just became complacent and allowed these laws to kind of build and build and build up to the point where women actually have no rights anymore.
Do not let them grind you down.
Hopefully, The Handmaid's Tale will continue to be a rallying cry for people who are trying to effect change for the future.